Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Today we are taking on the Alfa Romeo Giulietta QV at Magione. We've done great so far, so now we have the opportunity to push the Alfa Romeo Giulietta QV to a local race in Magione, after doing the time trial in the last video. Watch out for the locals, they seem to have some prepared little Abarths with better tyres, suspension and engine upgrades. Show them what we can do in a 5-lap race. So let's start our engines. Get ready to go. First gear selected. Steering wheel is about as centre as I can get it. Loading up the Abarths. We are in our beautiful silver Alfa Romeo Giulietta. Can I do anything to the car? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This worked fairly well last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuel. To estimate fuel laps complete. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna go with a quarter tank, so I'm gonna go 20 litres of fuel. That should be enough for 5 laps. More than enough, in fact. So let's get ready to race. Red lights are on. They're off. So these Abarths supposedly have better tyres than me. There is another Alfa in this race, I believe. Not quite sure what that car leading the pack is. It's not a Fiat 500 anyway. So I'm actually very close to having a good racing line around here, by the looks of things. So these Abarths, the Fiat 500s are, dang it, are more or less race prepared. So they should have, they don't have as much grunt as I do, but they should have apparently a bit more cornering ability. That's what I'm presuming. Once again, I am of course being super aggressive with the shifting, because it's the only way I know how in a race. Off track, off track, off track. Come on, get back on. There we go. Going to be slow out of this last corner, which isn't good. That Fiat 500 could catch us. It's got a bit of damage on the front end, though. Well, we've got a bit of damage too, so... No, we're off track. Okay, so I'm going to call that us out of the race. So let's restart the session. Yeah, I'm gonna half the fuel that I actually started off with. Go for 15 litres. Terrible start because I completely missed it. First corner, watch out, there's a guy on the outside. So, in quite a few racing games there are spotters, and that's a uniquely American thing. Is there somebody on my outside there? No. It's a uniquely American thing because in most European racing there isn't spotters, and the drivers are expected to just know, or at least guess, where the other cars are. So I can see that the drivers are expected to look around a bit and gauge where the cars around them actually are. So got a good slipstream off this guy actually. wasn't the best braking zone. He's kind of... Whoa! Okay, so if I nail this corner... What position am I even in? Fourth? Fourth. Okay, so I gotta try and catch up to third place. I got most of the race left to do it. However, I am quite slow. So I am probably in the right position at the moment. Especially if I take corners that badly. Although the game, I was told that the 500s are kind of somewhat race prepared, so they should be able to corner a bit faster than me. Anyway, I should be able to get away on the straights. I'm not doing that, which means I am just being slow. Track. Come on, give me a push. Give me a push. Come on. Because how far behind am I now? 15 seconds. Gonna call that out of the race again, because realistically, oh good, got wow, 9 litres. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna reduce the tire pressure by another 4 notches. Increase the decrease the camber on the front, increase it on the decrease it on the rear. Just give myself a bit more toe in, toe out. Okay, so let's get ready to race. Much better start this time. As you can see, aggressive shifting does in fact help. Don't know how much it helps, but jackass. Okay, that time it was my fault. I went in a bit too deep. So I'm still learning heel toe, so I'm not too great at it, but it is kind of necessary for Assetto Corsa. Ah, the 500s actually have slightly better gearing than I do. That would explain why they're getting away from me out of corners. So I think I'm in 5th again. I almost feel like I want to reduce the tire pressures even more. I almost feel like that's a good idea. I'd screw the suspension a bit more. Oh wow, yeah. So let's restart and let's actually reduce the tire pressures another 5 notches. And 4 on the rear. Actually want the rear to be... Can I change the tire compound? No. And let's see. Negative told me is... So I actually want this to be reduced. And this... Yeah, I want this to be reduced as well. Ooh, that was not a nice noise. So I still have the gloves on, so... Yeah, I think these new slightly lower tire pressures are better for me in the turn it. Yes, I think I've got a setup that I can work with. Now, of course, I could go online somewhere and find the setup, but there is a part of me that wants to do this by myself. There's a part of me that thinks, hey, I'm doing videos, I should really be a bit better than I am. Because I know I'm crap. I know it for a fact. You guys don't need to tell me I am such a terrible driver. I've got slipstream here. This is good. For everything but my engine. As you can see. Not to be shifting about 3,000, okay. I don't know what I need to get a bronze. I'm going to presume it's 3rd place, and I'm in 5th at the moment, which means I am really bad at that first corner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the setup back to default and just fiddle the tire pressures. 24 at the front and 27 at the rear, and the fuel can go down to 9 litres. I'm not going to fiddle the alignment, so I'm going to name this setup I gotta take off my gloves. Alfa Magione test 1, because that's the way I do things. I'm gonna race this time without the gloves because I actually do get a better feel for what's going on. First gear, and wow, the steering wheel seems a lot heavier now. Okay, so let's go as fast as we can get. That's the mistake I'm making on the 2nd lap every time, is I'm forgetting that I actually need to brake earlier than on the 1st lap. So I'm actually braking too late. And I know I am not the quickest driver in the world, and most good sim racers, fast sim racers, would be probably out in the lead by now. I'll be quite honest, but I'm not good, I'm not fast. But I try. And trying is halfway to learning. This last section is just really difficult for this Alfa to get around nicely. I know that braking... I'm gonna say something really stupid here. Braking at the start-finish line is far too early. Braking at the 100 board is far too early, so I'll brake somewhere between the 100 and the 50. Yes, I am still working out a racing line, which isn't the greatest, but... fuel light on because, well, I've got very little fuel in here. Only got the fuel that I need, and an extra lap just in case there is some sort of weird funky thing going on. So the Alphas are actually shifting slightly differently to me. They're actually shifting a bit slower because the AI doesn't shift very well. Completely forgot to brake. Completely forgot to brake there. So, yeah, I'm making some very basic errors. And I should say every movement of the steering wheel in the game is directly correlated with the movement I'm making. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. Maybe if I... No, that was just too wide. I'm struggling against less powerful cars. I'm really struggling here. Doesn't help my gear shifter's off at a bit of an angle, so it's not particularly great. Not ideal. Braking in here. Ah! So that section you need to left foot brake. And get some weight onto the front of the car. So what I've been doing is putting the weight wrong. Getting the weight distribution wrong. Now I am still going to finish second last here, but I am learning. Slowly. Very slowly. And... oh! My keys. Completely lost control there. That was all me being an idiot. So I'm not actually using the bottom of the display at all. I'm actually using the tachometer or rev counter on the dashboard that you can see. Which is why I was counting out revs while ago. I think I'm gonna skip this race for the time being because this Alpha is just not good. I can't figure out how to set it up right. I'm gonna finish off this race because we've got one lap to go now. And we're coming on to the final lap. There's the white flag. So, in the next video we're actually going to move on to the BMW on the dusty Magione track, which I can only imagine is going to go worse than this. Because I'm just losing time now everywhere. And yes, I'm on... See, the big difference is they're all on... Yeah, they're all on semi-slicks, which is a racing style tire. Also known as, I suppose, intermediates. I am on street tires. I'm driving this thing like I stole it on road tires. So that's distinctly less than ideal. Which is why I mentioned they've showed up with better tires than me. So this is clearly the friend's Alfa Romeo that I've just banged into cars. So I think we've run out of time for this episode. In the next one we'll be taking the... I will show you, in fact. Yeah, I do need to finish third, nuts. Oh, that's a challenge right there. The next video will be taking out a BMW M3 E30 or E30 M3. Step 1. We'll be taking that out at Magione around for a time attack. So until then, stay safe and goodbye.